When you are dealing with plantar fasciitis or foot pain from other causes, rest seems like a good option until you realize that it doesn't do much to fix the problem that is going on. These exercises in this video are phase 1 exercises that we use here in the office and serve as a companion to the soft tissue work, the joint mobilization, and the shockwave therapy we'll do in office for plantar fasciitis to help you keep giving this attention throughout the day, building capacity and getting back to the activities you enjoy. So we are going to start with mobility exercises first. But like everything else, mobility is only going to get you so far, and we will have a section at the end of this video that focuses on strength building and capacity building of these tissues in the foot and lower leg. Our first mobility exercise is going to be the stick roller. We're not only going to hit the bottom of our foot, but we're going to hit the whole lower leg because everything that starts here crosses the ankle, attaches in the foot, and it can impact how we move, how our foot is supported, and also the stress on the plantar fascia. So we're going to start with the bottom of the foot. I like to do this seated because I find standing puts way too much pressure, and what we don't want to do is roll over where that plantar fascia starts and irritate it, and standing can put a lot more pressure through there. So when we roll the bottom of our foot, we're going to start just above that and go all the way down towards the toes, not going over the heel and not going over that very sensitive spot of the plantar fascia. So usually what we'll do is about 10 down the middle, 10 down the inside, and 10 on the outside, doing a pressure that you can tolerate that doesn't make this feel worse or irritated afterwards. Now moving into the lower leg, we want to hit the front of the shin, the outside peroneals, the calf, but the important part that I want you to hit is just inside this tibia bone. So what I like to do is take the roller, come up on the inside of the bone, push the bigger part of the calf out of the way, and roll on that inside. This will be sensitive, but this is where a lot of our pronation and arch support come from with these deep flexor muscles. They come down on the inside of the tibia, go around the ankle, and then come down into the foot. And if you're looking at where I'm pointing, this is probably where you're feeling the pain. So a lot of times when plantar fasciitis comes in, it's usually not just plantar fasciitis. There's also some posterior tib tendinopathy as well playing a part. So we want to make sure that we give those muscles a lot of attention, going 10 up and down in each area, and then really focusing on the inside of that tibia bone. Now that we've rolled the foot and the lower leg, we want to look at joint mobility. Two common areas that are contributing to foot issues are going to be ankle dorsiflexion restriction and big toe extension restriction. So we're going to address both of those now. Typically what happens when we don't have those range of motions, when we're walking or running or doing anything, we don't have that ability to have the knee come over the foot, get a good bend here in the ankle, and then push off of our big toe. If you're lacking in either of those movements, the typical pattern is to turn the foot out and then work around it. And if you can see what happens, this causes my foot to cave in, and this can put a lot of pressure on the inside of the foot and pull on that plantar fascia. So we want to make sure we can get the range of motion to come over our foot, push off of our big toe. So with the ankle dorsiflexion lunge, we're just going to take this lunge position. We are going to push everything forward, knee going over the foot, and really trying to work on this range of motion right here in the ankle. This might be a little bit more sensitive, so I want you to be careful when you're doing this exercise. So we're going to take our shoes off. We're going to get to where we can put our big toe under us and not letting our foot splay out. We want to keep everything up tall. You might just be only able to do this at this time. But then as you get better, you can sit back and then eventually pushing into that big toe extension, getting that range of motion. Now what we don't want to get into this range of motion and then feel a sharp pull through the bottom of our foot. If you're getting that, come off of these a little bit and just work into a range of motion that you can tolerate that doesn't hurt the bottom of your foot. But eventually, we just want to rock back and really push into that extension of the big toe. Now on to the strength exercises that we want to do a few times each week, because honestly this is where you're going to build the capacity to get over this and prevent it in the future. We're going to start working with the intrinsic stabilizer muscles of the foot. While this seems easy, this actually takes practice, but what I want you to do is do toe spreads. So you're going to try to bring your toes up, and then spread everything and hold. If you're not used to this, this could cause a cramp. So if you get that cramp, just relax, rub the bottom of your foot, and then go back to it. But we want to try to hold this for about 10 seconds getting a good toe spread. Now you can do this seated, laying down, whatever's convenient, but we're just trying to get all those muscles coordinated and working in the foot so that it's more stable and working appropriately. Next, we are going to work on an exercise that is a car type exercise where we're getting joint stimulus and building stability through it. But we're going to work on this whole lower leg and foot. So we're going to sit in a chair, we're going to put our fist right between our knees and squeeze into that, and then we're going to bring our feet up slowly, turn them out as far as we can, come down. And then we're going to come up, turn them in as far as we can, and come down. Our last strength exercise of this first phase is just a single leg balance. For most of you, if you were having increased sensitivity on the bottom of your foot, I want you to do this with a shoe on, because going barefoot could increase that pressure and cause you some irritation. But what we're going to see when we're standing on one foot is we're trying to coordinate the whole lower leg, ankle, foot to keep us balanced. And you'll see that my foot and things are wobbling, and that's okay. Those are those muscles contracting and trying to balance us out. One thing I want you to note is, especially you'll see it when you get your shoes off, is we don't want to be grabbing the floor with our toes. Once we get good with shoes on, we want to go without shoes. Remember, when we're doing those toe spreads, we want to try to spread our toes, put them flat on the ground, and then come up into that single leg balance and try to avoid scrunching our toes and trying to claw at the ground, and just keeping good contact through the foot and maintaining balance. Now that we have our strength work done, which is, in my opinion, going to be the best thing for you, that's how we're going to create capacity and get your feet to where they can handle the stress of the things that you want to do and need to do throughout your day. I've got one bonus mobility exercise for you that there was actually a pretty big study on that found if you just pull your toes up to whatever's comfortable and massage gently, not crazy and digging in, but just nice and gently all the way up towards the foot, and doing that 5 times, and then performing that stretch 10 to 15 times per day, which is something you can just do at your desk and will only take about 30 seconds at a time, improved outcomes from plantar fasciitis and help people get back to their activities faster. What that really boils down to is just giving this more frequent attention throughout your day, and then allowing that to compound over time to eventually increase the capacity, make this less sensitive, and get back to your activities.